all. Man, oh man. So we got a lot more details, which I'll give all the insider stuff on the main live stream today in less than an hour. But I want to talk about this now because it's so important. The Israelis, the Jews, saved the life of the president of the United States, Donald Trump. Israel's Mossad is so embedded in Iran. That's how we were able to take out their top leaders during the first attack. So Mossad is embedded deep inside the Iranian government and military, and the Israelis tipped off President Trump that the Iranians were planning to assassinate him somehow on Air Force One. So all this talk the day before yesterday, in the early hours of yesterday, about which Air Force One, where was he flying, those were all diversionary tactics thanks to the Jews. So we all owe a great debt to Israel today because Israeli intelligence uncovered yet another assassination plot against President Trump. And those of you out there that are never Trumpers, Democrats, liberals, anti-Trump in any way whatsoever, I mean, here you've got, this is the third confirmed assassination attempt, and there have been others, but this is the third publicly confirmed assassination attempt on the President of the United States, all right? So if this is not an act of war in your mind, what the freak is? What liberals will tell themselves, because they're sick, twisted, demented souls, what liberals will tell themselves is that, he deserved it. He's bombing their country. How twisted is that? That's how the left operate. But we most definitely want to put out a great thank you to Israel, to the Jews, for saving the life of President Trump. And I'm grateful, aren't you? Absolutely, absolutely. And what the plot was, it was very credible to get this whole diversionary campaign. And I'm going to go through all the details of it on the main show this morning. But if you notice the title and thumbnail of the next stream, I already have set up there. And in the thumbnail, it says, President Trump's the bravest president. That's so true. He didn't have to fly on either of those Air Force Ones. He didn't have to. And I'm sure that they didn't want him to. He could have flown out on a different military aircraft without them knowing. He can fly on any military aircraft. He can fly on any Air Force aircraft, and its designation becomes Air Force One. He could have done that, but he didn't do it. He still flew on one of his Air Force Ones. That takes a lot of guts, doesn't it? It really, truly does. He could have flown on any military aircraft. They could have put him on a fighter jet. They could have put him on a stealth bomber and flown him out of Turkey. They could have. And you know what? I'm sure they recommended that. They probably, Turkey and Iran border each other and were bombing them, and he still flew out on Air Force One. Of course they recommended to him that he should fly out on another aircraft in secret, but he's not going to sneak out. He's not going to hide. And the media are so sick and twisted, they can't see straight. They find 6 ways from Sunday to turn this into a bad thing. This was one of the greatest acts of presidential bravery we have seen. It really, truly is. When have we seen a president do something so brave? It's amazing what he did. And he did it publicly. He didn't hide. Right? They were talking about it in the press conference and everything else. Welcome, everyone. If you're new to my channel, my name is Brian. This is Where MAGA Comes to Talk. Make sure you subscribe, all right? And on the next stream, I'll be in the studio taking live calls. And today, I can't believe it's Friday already. That's right. And that means it's open phones on the program. We call it Open MAGA Mike Friday. Hey, Australia, welcome. And you can call me from any and everywhere that you would like. And you know where I'm going today? Later today when I get off the air, where do you guys think I'm going today? Later today. Any guesses? I'm in South Florida. If you're MAGA, where would you want to go today? If you're in South Florida like I am, where would you want to go? And I'll take you guys with me through YouTube, of course. I'll give you a hint. I'm going to make a vlog about it. No, the beach? No. That's right. I'm going to Donald John Trump International Airport, baby. I'm very excited. And I'll make a YouTube video about it and take you guys with me. It's not a road trip. It's just right up the street. But I've been waiting for them to change the signs, you know? So they have most of the signage up, which is what I've been waiting for. So I'm going to head up there today. It's right down the street. It's, you know, I can't wait. No, I'm not going to fly out of it. I'm just going to go up there and make a vlog and maybe eat, have some lunch, have a snack. Yeah, I'm excited. It's exciting. I know. Donald John Trump International Airport. Don Jr. and Eric flew in yesterday on Trump Force One. So it's not PBI, Mike, it is DJT now. And I don't know if Trump Force One is still there. I'll take a look. But I'm excited. Excited. Yep. Oh, yeah. I got goosebumps. Just think, I've been going to that airport since the 70s. But now that it's renamed Donald John Trump International, it's like going to a brand new airport. No, they changed the designation. Didn't you see Don Jr.? They changed the designation early. Didn't you see Don Jr. and Eric flew in? They have they have most of the signage is completed, or at least a lot of it. They have it up on the screens inside the airport. Takes a while for them to catch up. I mean, some of the maps still say Gulf of Mexico instead of Gulf of America, but it's the Gulf of America, right? You know, they drag their feet updating these things. So I'm very excited to go to Donald John Trump International Airport, which is right down the street from Mar-a-Lago, of course. I'm excited. They changed the sign on I-95. Yeah, so it's a good day. It's a good day to be MAGA. Yep. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. So today's open phones on the program. You can call in about any and everything on your mind on today's show. The show prep's up to you guys. But I'm going to go through all the details of how the Jews saved President Trump's life from the Iranian attack. And all of you anti-Semites out there, if you're MAGA, we owe a big thank you to the Jews today, don't we, for saving the life of President Trump. Who knows what would have happened? The third, Lucky Brooklyn, all opinions are welcome, but be decent, all right? Be decent. You're new, so, you know. We welcome all political backgrounds here, but, you know, watch your language a little bit. But who knows what would have happened. I mean, this is the third assassination attempt on President Trump by Iran. Think about that, right? President Trump said there were 2 during the campaign and this one. By the way, should Graham Plattner be like charged and arrested for the rape of this woman that made the allegations? Because was it 6 years ago? I mean, they put Bill Cosby in prison for things that happened 50 years ago. Harvey Weinstein, long time too. Why isn't Graham Plattner being arrested, charged? Right, good question, huh? Women should be believed. You don't believe women? All of a sudden, women should not be believed? Oh yeah, President Trump has had more assassination attempts against him than all the other presidents combined. That's the tolerant left and the Iranians. That's right. He really needs to bomb Iran just out of existence. No. Europa, what are you speaking German? Europa is Europe in German. Welcome everyone, welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, so much going on. So much going on. But that's going to be my lead story. I've got a lot of things to cover too. I'm going to talk about the illegal Mexican that tried to run over the ICE officers that they're trying to turn into Leave It to Beaver's father. I can't remember what Leave It to Beaver's father was, but name was. Anybody remember? I can't remember. It's on the tip of my tongue. I've got, I made the mistake of, Bonnie Tyler, the singer, died yesterday, who I had no idea she was Welsh. I had no idea. And I made the mistake of pulling up that scene from Footloose with her song. And I've got that freaking Bonnie Tyler song in my head, and it won't go away. It's driving me nuts. Ward, yes, Ward Cleaver. Yeah, they're trying to portray this guy that was trying to run over. Do you see Ward Cleaver trying to run over federal agents with a car filled with criminals? I don't think so. They're trying to say, they're doing everything they can do to portray this guy as Ward Cleaver, and it was just a guy going to work, and he wasn't the target of their investigation. Who did he have in that van? Right? Why was he trying to run over the federal agents? If anyone tried to run over a federal agent, you'd get shot too. He was here for 36 years. Well, he evaded law enforcement for that long. He's been on the lam. I mean, there's a lot of people out. I just saw a story this morning of a guy who got arrested for a murder like 36 years ago. He murdered a girl 36 years ago, and for some reason, he called police, told him he had information on the case, and they arrested him for this murder from like 36 years ago. I saw in the news this morning, American, white guy. Just because you haven't gotten caught doesn't mean that you're a good guy. It doesn't wash away your crime. I feel bad that the guy got shot, but if I tried to run over cops or federal agents, I'd get shot too. Remember beginning of the week, a cop came over here and put his spotlight in my eyes when I was sitting here during the live stream. What do you think would have happened if I would have gotten in my car and crashed into him and tried to run him over? What do you think? What do you think would have happened? Oh my goodness. He'd have shot me dead. And if I survived, I'd be handcuffed to the hospital bed. Yeah, the spotlight cop was right. Remember that the other day? It's on the live show. I made a short out of it. I can't remember what day it was, but it was earlier this week. Exactly. Exactly. If you're new, make sure you subscribe, guys. Yes, yes, yes. But boy, oh boy, I mean, if it wasn't for Israel, who knows, JD might have been the president right now. God forbid, it would have been just awful. It had to be a major, credible threat for them to go through all these hoops they went through. You know? It's true. Very, very true. Now, even, you know, I was on my podcast yesterday. I was talking about the Tyler Robinson, Charlie Kirk hearing. You know, what's going on now, this is not the trial. This is a preliminary hearing, and the judge is deciding what evidence will be allowed. And we got like 3 confessions from the Charlie Kirk assassin yesterday from his boyfriend, the note he left, the conversations, and all that. And but still no reason as to what drove him to do it right then and there with such pinpoint accuracy on that long shot. I still stand by my my theory that he was recruited by Never Trumpers, probably through that Furry Friends Discord server, to do it. I still stand by that. You know, patsies don't necessarily know they're a patsy. You know, so that doesn't change that. But he is certainly the shooter, no question about it. No question about it. As difficult as that is for Candace Owens and her disciples of lunatics to believe, he is the shooter. But we'll never get to the bottom of who recruited him to assassinate Charlie Kirk. We just won't. Give me a yes or no. Should Tyler Robinson get the death penalty? That's the Charlie Kirk assassin. Should he get the death penalty? I am against the death penalty. I'm pro-life. And one of the reasons I don't want to give him the death penalty, other than I'm against the death penalty, but, you know, 20, 30, 40, even 50 years could go by, and he might tell the truth about how he got recruited to do it. Right? So that's a good reason not to want it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Exactly. Mm-hmm. He may come. He may know who recruited him. He may know. So if you know, the people that recruited him want him to get the death penalty. So I do not want him to get the death penalty. I am pro-life, so I'm always against the death penalty. But in this case, I think we want to keep him alive with life in prison. Yes, the Palm Beach airport where Trump lands has been renamed Donald John Trump International. So I'm going to go there and make a YouTube video about it. Mm-hmm. Yep. You're all invited to come along. Mm-hmm. Yep. That'll be a good video. I'm excited to do it. I'm going to go up there today. Or tomorrow. It'll either be today or tomorrow. But I'm going to go do it. Very excited. Trump baby. That's right. That is correct. I was waiting for them to get the signs up. So they have most of the signage has been changed, or at least a lot of the signage. And they have the signage up inside as well in the terminals. So I'll go up and make a vlog about it. Well, it's America. You know, we've got free speech. We don't want to limit free speech, but you know, I think Candace Owens is mentally ill. I mean, she's a mental patient. You know, but no, you want to keep this guy alive because he may one day say, okay, this is what happened. If he gets the death penalty, you know how that goes. Dead men tell no tales. I mean, could you imagine what if Lee Harvey Oswald would have lived, right? What if Lee Harvey Oswald would have lived? Think about what we would know. possibly. You know? Exactly. Exactly. Now subscribe if you're new. Now the next stream, which will be in less than 30 minutes, I'll be in the studio taking your calls. And remember, today is Friday. That means open phones, open MAGA Mike Friday. You can call me about any and everything on your mind. You're not limited to the topics that I bring up. But I'm going to ask this question. I'd like you to call me about this. Should the Charlie Kirk assassin get the death penalty? I say no, and not because I'm against the death penalty, because of the reasons I stated. So I want to hear your thoughts on that. And of course, how the Jews saved President Trump from the Iranian assassin. That's my lead story I'm going to start with. And I got a few other things too, including this illegal Mexican that they're trying to turn into Ward Cleaver in the news. So got a lot to cover today. So make sure you subscribe. It'll be less than 30 minutes. And I'll be in the studio. I know, I can't believe it's Friday. I cannot believe it is Friday. Exactly. By the way, I was watching Jeremy Boring. Remember, he was with the Daily Wire, and he dropped a new video yesterday. He bought back his company, Jeremy's Razors, from the Daily Wire, which had to cost him a pretty penny. Oh my goodness. Have any of you used Jeremy's Razors? I was thinking of getting some. No. Absolutely. Yeah, see, the spotlight cop knows I'm here now. Well, listen, guys, I got to take off because I got to get to the studio, but I will see you all shortly. Make sure you subscribe. And I'll see you in less than 30 minutes in the studio taking your live calls. All right, my name's Brian.